Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Lowe Down, and today we are honoured to have the legend that is Toby Lewis. Now, if you haven't heard of Toby Lewis before, all-round motoring legend, from motorbikes and into cars. Toby runs Driveco. You organise car events, meet and greeting. So Toby, welcome. And would you like to maybe tell me a little bit about what you do and who you are?
Perfect. Well, firstly, thanks for inviting me. I was excited getting that call from you. I get these random calls from Oli where he says, I've had this great idea. Are you in? And my default answer is yes, whatever it is. So very excited. Your place here is awesome. So, and the setup is insane. So
thank you very much.
Good to see it. So we go back. I was thinking about this on the drive here. I think we go back to it's probably about 30 years, I think. So we've had the pleasure of knowing each other for 30 years.
Amazing.
But as a kid, I always dreamt about being a rock star. I wanted to be Axl Rose in Guns N' Roses. I missed the mark quite heavily on that one.
Yeah.
Didn't quite make it. So a very close profession. I work in IT. So I am the Axl Rose of IT, I think, and digital, all things digital. So that's the day job. Really boring. Driveco is organically grown. It was a group of us driving around Wales in whatever car, and it became more and more popular. So this year we've run 12 events, I think. One of those being the legendary Dragon Rally. So we had 30 people on Dragon Rally this year.
I was on.
Oli was one of those. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I think the amount of car clubs that have come up since I've started, it's
huge.
Just blown up.
I think since COVID.
Yeah, I think it has, and which is great, and I'm all for that. I do try and do things a little differently. So what you'll see with Driveco is you'll never see a qualifying car list. That doesn't matter to me. You will see a qualifying people list, and one item on there is don't be a dickhead.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes only. Anti-ego.
Nice.
Really don't care what you drive.
Yeah.
I love supercars, and I've been looking around the garage and I'm looking at that McLaren 720S, and I'll look at those all day long. But the variance we get at the events is just superb. Yeah, if anyone's interested in joining us for a drive, you are more than welcome. Just no egos, whatever car you want.
I had a lot of fun on it.
It's good.
And the people were amazing.
Honestly, I've met some really interesting people that inspire you as well. They're not necessarily business success, but they may be doing adventures in different types of adventures, and they just inspire you from
the chat group. I'm in one of them, and it's full of gents, and obviously we're all petrol heads. We all share a common passion, but also the networking I've done in there. Obviously for me, I sell cars, so obviously it's handy for me, but it's a really good bunch of people. 2026
is going to be where ambition overtakes talent in terms of what I'm planning. So we've got something really big. I can't disclose any details at the moment. I've got some meetings with some councils.
Don't you dare.
It's like a little teaser.
I want an exclusive.
I've seen this on This Morning where they tease things. But I've got some meetings with some councils next week and some meetings with some sponsors. If they go well, hopefully we got some big things.
Fingers crossed. All right. Well, thank you. That's a good introduction.
I told you I could talk.
Yeah. Well, between the two of us, I mean, I find it difficult not to talk.
That's why I'm
Most
looking at you.
Most people will be surprised by that because... but anyway, okay, well, I've got some questions for you, a little bit motoring based and so on. So firstly, as a little bit of an icebreaker, what I want to know what was Toby's first car and what was the story behind it or stories involving it?
It was a beauty. You can help me out with it because I'm rubbish with the details of cars, right?
Go on.
But it was a T-Reg, so that would be 1979.
Oh.
T-Reg.
Backwards T-Reg.
Yeah, backwards T-Reg, right? Yeah, I'm getting on a bit now. T-Reg. Ford Fiesta, so that'd be Mark 1, I guess.
Wow.
950cc.
Round headlights or square?
Square.
Okay.
Lime green.
Oof.
Beautiful. And I had that for about 6 months until my mate Dave, who I used to race motocross with, we used to get into all sorts of mischief with.
Yeah.
He was on his bike and he bet me that I couldn't drive my Fiesta up to the top of the Sugarloaf Mountain. Which is a mountain. So I managed to get it almost up to the top, but then rolled it into the bracken and we had to roll it back down. And so that was the end of...
So the Sugarloaf is a mountain where we grew up and this strictly says no vehicles. Okay, so that was your first car covered.
And then I went on to a Ford Orion with a Fido Dido sticker on the back. If you picture the most boy racer vehicle you can think, and then times it by 10.
Yeah.
I took the back box off.
I haven't even heard
louder.
that since the 90s.
That was the back. So this was an upgrade back then. This was an exhaust upgrade to take the back box off. Yeah. Zero back pressure.
Oh my God.
Flat as it wouldn't, but yeah, I went on to bigger and better things then.
Okay. Amazing.
Good.
What got you into your massive world of petrol head life that you do, from motocross and all the rest of it? Where did it start for you? Did you have a parent influence in it, or so on and so forth? Or was it friends with motocross? Did it all start there?
It's really hard to pinpoint. So I can remember one of my earliest memories is sat in my dad's Ford Orion 1.8 gear.
Yeah.
I must have been about 5 or 6, sat on the drive, and I used to sit there for hours pretending to be on a road trip. My mum used to bring my sandwiches out to the car, and I used to eat it out while driving.
Oh, bless you.
It was so it goes back as far as that. But my dad he worked on the roads and driving lorries and all around machinery. So I was lucky enough to drive machinery from a really young age, and I was obsessed. I would go to work with my dad in the summer holidays, and from the moment we got there to the moment we went home, I would beg him to drive the Bobcat or the Roller or the JCB and just beg him to do that. I've got a story there where I was driving the Roller. So the Rollers are pivoted in the middle.
Yeah.
I was begging my dad to drive. Can I drive this Roller? No. End of the day, go on then, we'll put it on the trailer. So I jumped on it.
Yes.
He got like a little start and go. He jumped here I was like 8 or 9, I guess. This is before health and safety. My dad was stood on one of the steps. I turned, really power steering turned, and the steering started to get really hard. So I'm starting to yank it. My dad's foot was in the middle.
Oh my God.
And it crushed my dad's steel toe cap onto his foot.
Oh.
And I look over and he's like, just not saying it, just trying to stop me from steering.
So this is one of those rollers, for rolling tarmac and stuff? Is it one of those massive big steel wheel on the front? Like massive rolling pin on wheels?
Exactly that. Where's 2 rolling, and so that was
ouch.
Yeah, so that was, but
how's his foot now?
It was from a different breed.
Flat.
These guys just walks with a bit of a limp,
Oh, bless him.
Different breed back then, isn't it? It was shake it off and get back to work the next day. But so that was the start, and then progressed into motorbikes.
Yeah.
I had an absolute obsession with motocross from the ages of 14 to probably 28.
This is what I remember you for, because I was really good friends with your brother Jack, and you were the cooler older brother with the motocross, and you were doing well in it, weren't you?
At the start, I was rubbish. I was terrible, but you get, the more you do something, the better you get. So I wasn't amazed. I wasn't a world champion or anything, but I could hold my own, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I went on to freestyle motocross, which is the ramps and tricks in the air. That was really, really early days. So rode with Travis Pastrana, who's a really legendary guy, Kerry Hart, who's a guy. So managed to have the opportunity to ride with those guys, not on their level, but
yeah, of course, at the same events.
Riding with those guys, which was good. So then I moved from motocross into skydiving, right? And the transition is a little bit, so I had a tough season in 2008, started really well.
Yeah.
But I had 3 concussions, and since then, that's why I stutter. So I had to give up. Yeah. So that's why I had to ease up on the motocross, because of the amount of concussions. But I broke both my arms, and
at the same time,
both at the same time, right? I broke my wrists are so thin. I've broken them so much.
What?
This time I went to
I don't know why I'm laughing. Sorry.
Yeah, why are you laughing?
I think just because it's you,
sicko. So I did go to the hospital this time. I used to from my mum and dad used to say, never take off the state. So I never claimed a dole, or I never was out of work, but never claimed a dole. But I used to be very aware that I was doing the motorbike stuff as a choice. So I had loads of injuries. So I wouldn't go and put strain on the NHS by going. So I plaster my own arm up and stuff. But I broke both my arms, right? And I'm a bit like you in terms of ADHD. I need to do something.
Yeah.
I'd always wanted to do skydiving. So I'd been in plaster about a week. I thought, I'm going to do it. So this was back in 2008. So Googled where phoned Skydive Swansea. Carl answered the phone. He owns it, ex-military, really kind of stern.
Yeah.
Said, I want to learn to skydive. And he's kind of heard it all before. He said, yeah, right. So there's 2 ways of doing it. But we've got a ground school on Friday. This was the Wednesday. So I'm talking to him with 2 arms in plaster. We've got a ground school on Friday. Someone's dropped out. You can take that. Or we've got another ground school in like 2 months' time.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'll take it. I'll be there Friday. So ground school, you learn about the techniques of skydiving. You learn about the rigs and where you pull in height and all that sort of stuff. In the Thursday evening, starts at like 9 o'clock in the morning, next morning. So I'll go into the garage. I tried cutting it off with the scissors first. Thought, right, I'll go into the garage. I've got a little workbench. I put my arm in the vise. I thought I'd start with my right arm first. So I did the vise up. And I had an angle grinder.
Yeah.
And I was practicing. And I was...
Angle grinder.
Angle grinder, right?
Toby.
Electric. And I thought, it felt really unnatural because I'm right-handed. So I was not on. I'm like practicing. I'm like, well, that's really tricky. So I turned the angle grinder on. You know, what do they call it? The oscillation where it's moving. And this thing's buzzing right by my face.
Oh my gosh.
I broke the scaphoid in this one, so the plaster was up to here, but I broke this bone here. So the plaster was at my thumb. So as soon as I touched the plaster, I think it was because my left hand, it just went up the plaster and went up. And I've got a mark on my thumb where it just nicked my thumb.
Oh my.
But during that, the angle grinder turned in my arm. So I can't turn it off now. So I've got my hand in a vise with this angry angle grinder. And I'm trying to turn it off with my nose. And this blade's spinning right by my head. And it But managed to get them off and went to... But then you've obviously got to learn to skydive. Pull it, doing practice pulls all day with a broken arm. And not letting on that you've got a...
Wow. Yeah. You're a certain kind of special.
No, you've got to keep busy, haven't you? You're the same as me.
I have taken the plaster off myself once.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, mine was to go mountain biking, and I cut it off.
Exactly. Yeah. You see, and the trick is, I've done it since, is putting it in the bath.
You know the colourful ones that you used to get?
Yeah, the fiberglass ones, they're tough.
Yeah, they were tough. But I'd had it on a while, and somehow I managed to do it.
Yeah, they're tough. They are tough.
Right, you got 100 grand. Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
3-car garage.
Yeah.
Okay. You got 100 grand to spend. You got 3 cars. What do you get?
Right. So I've thought about this, and you could go 2 ways, couldn't you? You could go practical and be like, oh, I need to do this, or you could go, fun.
Yeah.
And it's not too far from the garage that I've got now, in all honesty. So it would be a GT4.
Yes.
What you can pick? What, a 981 up for 55k ish,
with a few chunky miles on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So GT4, you got a fun car.
Yeah.
Done.
Not just a fun car, it's an incredible car.
It's awesome.
If anyone hasn't driven one of those, they're
unbelievable. And Ollie's got one for sale. And it is
no, I haven't actually at the moment. We sold them all because they're that good. No, I lived with one for a week or two, and I fell in love with it.
It's unbelievable. I went from the 997 to the GT4, mid-engine, good. It's manual as well. Manual, brilliant. Can't fault it. So I go GT4. Then the next choice is going to be probably a little bit boring and geeky, but I would go with what I've got in terms of a VW Crafter, converted to a camper, right? So an adventure wagon. So I can put my mountain bike in the back. We can go on trips to the Alps. Yeah. We can do that. So, and they do everything.
Okay.
Superb. Awesome.
What are we up to budget wise now?
So that I got that for 17. I converted myself for like 4 grand, right?
Okay.
So what 55 for a high mileage GT4.
Yeah.
Say 20 odd grand for the Crafter. So what's that? 75. Yeah. So we got 25.
Go on then.
I would go with the GI Yaris.
Would you? If you can find one for 25.
I've looked before I came.
Did you?
Yeah. There's some early ones for 25 grand.
We just sold one. It was 29.30, I think.
There's some in the 40s, obviously, but the early ones are 20. You can get, they've got a few chunks of miles on, but they're all driven carefully, aren't they? They're not driven fast.
I'm not agreeing with the Crafter.
Are you not? You don't like the Crafter?
Not really. No.
You got...
Because with hotels.
It's not the same. When you go into the Alps, you're driving and you think, where does that road lead? No one's been up that road for a while. You drive up that road, and you go, I'm parking here. I'm going to camp here tonight. We did 4 weeks in the Alps, Italian and French Alps last year as a family. 4 weeks.
Amazing.
And we paid for 3 campsites. The rest we just wild camped.
Great.
It's not all romantic. Sometimes you're in a car park next to a supermarket. But yeah, it's good.
The GR Yaris, I am a fan of those.
I've never driven one.
Haven't you?
No,
let me tell you. In a tiny little car, really, with 300 horsepower, a high revving little engine, and the 4-wheel drive system.
4-cylinder?
Or 3. Yeah, I had one. And if you you get into a corner or a sharp bend or something like that, especially if there's a bit on and off road, and you give it a little flick, it's so predictable. You know exactly where you are the whole time. It's a lot of fun.
I'm trying to convince my wife that, you know, it's an all-rounder.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously your holidays you have to pack light if you're going to use it for a holiday, but...
I got an idea for GR Yaris's.
Go on.
And then get a white one and make the rear windows white, and it's the best van in the world. Take the rear seats out.
Yeah, I like it.
Something I'm into.
I like it.
Yeah. Do you like that?
Is that for your
I don't know. I just think it would make a cool van.
I thought it was for your pastime.
If you're listening. Us and our gang of friends and the people who hang around, we're into a bit of adventure. And I would love to know about your greatest motoring adventure. And it can be 2 wheels or 4 wheels. And what's up there for you? And what's the one that's really ticked the bucket list the most for you?
When I was younger, I bought a bay window, 1972 bay window V-dub.
Oh, wow.
It took me 4 years to get that on the road, and I took it to Europe for 6 weeks, Bilbao down there, and it broke down every day. But because I did it myself over 4 years, I could fix it quite, and it was normally fuel related or air related. But I won't use that one. Motocross, I did a lot of European trips in the motocross, so bigger Veco vans, going to Amsterdam on the way, and all sorts of stories there, but we won't go into that.
That's a family event as well, if you know what I mean, from a point of view of the other racers. Our family. So when I was in motorsport and I was going around, I used to love the journey and the actual pits as much as the racing. Oh,
it was brilliant. And we used to do some racing down in Europe, because the Europeans are really big in, like, I think it's Belgium's #1 sport, motocross. So it's awesome. They used to have a track that went through Namur, and they used to throw a load of dirt on the tarmac down the streets. And used to ride the race. This was a world championship race. Used to go through the streets past the pub. And there's a story.
Never heard of that.
And I think it's a guy called Jackie Martin, or one of the world champions was leading the race by so much. He came past the pub, grabbed someone's pint, necked it, and then drove up. That was 1980s style.
Yeah,
health and safety will be all over that now. But another big adventure was Namibia as well. So went to Namibia on the bikes, and that was all to do with you. I came to see you.
My fault.
Yeah, it was good. But it was awesome. Came to see you in Baffle.
Yeah.
And I remember you went, I've got the trip for you.
I've
got the trip for you.
I called a lot of people about that trip.
Yeah. And you didn't come on it?
No, I didn't. No. Unfortunately, I couldn't. It did look like the trip of a lifetime. I don't like to say trip of a lifetime, because I think we should spend a whole lifetime doing trips.
But it was.
I think that was up there, isn't it?
And it came at the right time for me, right? I'm going to get deep for a second. So maybe from 2014, morphed from the fun into work, and literally threw myself into work, and really intense kind of 9 years or so. Stepped me out of my comfort zone. I knew some of the guys, like some of the guys from Baffle, Rowan, etc., etc. But it was pivotal. I didn't really give it any thought until I was on the plane, in terms of, what is this?
You needed a break.
Jumped on the 900 Tigers, and I remember jumping on it. So I've done a little bit of motocross before, so I have ridden bikes before, but I remember jumping on it thinking, this is too big for me to... I don't think I can ride this confidently anywhere. This is too big. But by the end of day one, you're going 140 kilometers down a dirt road, sliding the back end out, and it's just so much fun. I mean, we were on the trip with 12 or so guys. Rowan could definitely has finesse when he rides.
He's smooth.
I have no finesse at all, but it's still fun.
Are you a brute?
Yeah.
I saw some of the footage of you and Rowan actually riding together.
Yeah.
Actually, you complement each other, and it looked really good. And you're crisscrossing a lot and all the rest of it, and you're both drifting at the same time together.
Yeah, it was
beautiful
good
stuff.
It was amazing. It was really good.
Yeah.
But it was an eventful trip, an emotional roller coaster. He's not a tour guide, but the guy had organised it always said this is going to be an adventure.
Yeah.
Right? Not a tour. Organised us on the 3rd or 4th day to go to these sand dunes, because it was going to be deep, deep sand.
Yeah.
So we had to get prepped. It was like a war zone, right? You're riding around, there's people on the floor, there's bikes on the floor, there's people starting to get momentum on their bikes and aiming for someone that's off. And it's just,
to ride on deep sand is a skill.
I was crying my eyes out. I was loving it.
You got to keep it pinned,
you just got to keep that front end light.
Yeah.
And
keep your ass off the rear.
And commit and do it. It's easier said than done, though. But it's so much fun. We'd been there about an hour, and then we got exited off these dunes by some locals because unaware to us, we needed a permit to ride on these things.
Wow.
So there was some very angry Namibian locals with us, and we'd done this completely unintentionally.
Yeah.
In Africa, you sort things out differently there, so that we did a quick exit, cash or machete, whichever one. What's your poison? So we exited pretty quick. Riding was insane. Then we went to a location deep in Western Namibia, which is we labeled as the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
You come over and it's boulders either side, and then like a mile of dead flat sand. When we get there, it's pretty technical to get down to it. So me and Rowan were like, let's do it. So we went down initially and others joined us, and it was like the best day's riding ever. So I'll give you
Really? What was it, like a playground in there?
Oh, it was awesome. Once you got down there, it was really techy to get down. Rowan was on the pegs. I was dragging my ass down, trying to get down there.
Yeah.
Once we're down there, I just spent an hour going back and forth on this big sand pit, and it was drifts.
Oh, wow.
It's brilliant. Really good fun. We then exited there. We went for probably an hour and a half on the most corrugated road you could ever imagine. Now, if you stopped...
Like a roller shutter door corrugated?
Yeah. It was 3 or 4 inches apart and 6 inches deep. Equal.
How does it get like that?
I don't know. But it shakes you to death. And we're traveling like 140 kilometers an hour on this thing, and it's like your fillings are coming out. But anyway, unbelievable day. So we get to like nearly dusk, and we're staying at a campsite. So we're like 7 miles from this campsite, and I've drifted to the back of the pack because it's euphoria. You're just like, this is just amazing. You're just driving, thinking about the riding you've done. And in the foreground, I'm like, I can see we're stopped. And every now and again, Joe would stop and regroup us because we had spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, in my head, I'm like, I just want to go and drink some beer. I think Wales were playing in the night as well, so we knew that they were going to play
rugby or football.
Rugby.
Nice.
So we're like, we'll make this way. As I was coming up to the group, I passed an antelope or an oryx dead on the ground, neck snapped.
Yeah.
Not looking good. And then a motorbike on the ground.
Mm.
And then one of our fellow riders, he was on the side of the road. So what had happened is Tom was traveling as a group. Oryx is on the side, and one oryx had like sheep in Wales, it's great training.
Yeah.
Had changed direction and taken Tom out at high speed. So Tom was in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pain in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
7 kind of kilometers away from the campsite, but this campsite was in a town, and that town consisted of like 2 or 3 buildings and a campsite. It was in the middle of nowhere. So long story short, the ambulance was about 8 hours away. So we had to get an ambulance down. Tom was in a lot of pain, couldn't move him, a lot of pain. A car passes. Maybe 2 or 3 cars passed the whole time we were there. One of those cars was with an Italian doctor.
Yeah.
This is how Western this is how kind of rogue it was. Remote.
Yeah, okay.
The Italian doctor had pain meds on her.
Wow.
So she did Tom's vitals, injected Tom with pain meds, but we sterilized that needle with tequila. So that is literally like Clint Eastwood Western. But we knew we had to move Tom because the sun was coming down. Kind of,
who had the tequila? Out of interest,
I think it was
one
Joe.
of the boys.
Yeah, I think
Joe.
Joe.
Okay,
Joe had that. He looks like a cowboy as well with his cowboy hat. So we had to, sun was coming down, hyenas and all sorts out in that sticks. We had to move Tom. So we took the door off one of the buildings in the campsite, brought that on a pickup truck and put Tom on the door and then drove him to the campsite to a makeshift room, taking pictures off the wall to hang the drip.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it was.
I knew about
chaos.
obviously the accident, all the rest of it. We were all very worried back at home for Tom. And I'm glad he's made a full recovery. If anything, he's better than he was before.
Yeah, I think he's bionic now.
Yeah. But no, I didn't know about that. So do you think, Namibia?
Yeah, Namibia. So then, I know I'm going on, but then we woke up in the morning, all worried about Tom. But the guy that owned the campsite contacted us and said, there's a WhatsApp group of all of the locals that aren't happy that you rode on these dunes, and they're hunting you down. And so he essentially hid us in this campsite until we could arrange to go to the police station and sort that out.
Okay.
Went to the police station, and they left me. I was the only one with cash, so most others went to the cash machine to get cash because money talks, right?
Yeah.
So I'm talking to this police officer, and he's on to the chief of police in Windhoek on the phone.
Windhoek, which is the capital
the capital.
Wow.
Talking about this situation opposite me. And they're talking about us going to prison until they can get us into court. So this was in September, and the next court date was in November. So they're saying, so I'm like, I'm
Imagine
like,
telling your missus.
Exactly. I'm like 10 stone. I'm 11 stone. I'll be a plaything in that prison. I'm not. A Namibian prison isn't a place for me.
Yeah.
Right? Again, yeah. So I'm like, really? And I'm trying to negotiate with this guy when all the other guys I can hear the other guys turning back, arriving again after getting the money. I'm like, is there any other way we can do this? And he's kind of, no, I think we need to make an example of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, mate, this is serious. I can't go to prison. I'm not made for prison. And he then said, money. So I'm like, man, I'm going to have to remortgage my house. Yeah. I'm going to have to, what is this? Started talking it through. And then when he told us Namibian money, I'm starting to talk to Joe, I think, on my left.
Go on.
I'm like, Joe, how much is that? Thinking it's going to be hundreds. It was like 30 quid or something. I'm like, amazing. Done. Deal. Amazing. Really disappointed. Done. Yeah. But yeah, that was a really good adventure. The other story was we got stuck at South African border. We were coming over. I was coming over with Sam and Salts from Baffle.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's this lady, big South African lady with a machine gun, stopped us.
Wow.
Obviously, please. And she said,
"Did you work
there? Yeah.
Oh,
she was
okay.
working. Yeah. Well, I think so. And she said, you can't pass, guys, until you sort my problem out. And I'm like, is she being serious? She said, I want to move to the UK. So I'm like, okay. And she said, which one of you is going to marry me? And I'm like,
that's a job for Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. I'm married. Sam will do it. Sam will take it on. And I just rode off. So I don't know how they negotiated their way over, but I was like, I ain't marrying you. Not with it. I'm nearly gone to prison. I'm nearly married. Yeah.
So funny.
So that was
I really like that story. That's my favorite bit at the end. Thank you.
But now my wife and I are happily married with Rita. With Rita from South Africa. Yeah. She lives with us. They're doing a documentary on us now. God. As a thruple, do they call it? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's a modern thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, God alive. Okay, so you've told me about your dream garage for 100K. What about if I said to you, money no object, 3 vehicles, go?
If I've got unlimited funds, I'm taking this as just a fun garage, right? This is not family. This is fun garage. These two aren't in my fun garage, right? But I'm going to mention them. Have you ever seen the film Roadhouse?
Yeah, the original.
Yeah. The original. Yeah, not the
new one. That's a bit weird.
He had a Merc in there. I'm crap with cars.
Okay.
He had the Merc, the black Merc in that.
Mm-hmm.
That I love that car. Don't know how much it would be worth. I don't know anything. Then my other one that isn't in here, right, which is really random, is, and I saw one last year in France, and I've not seen one for many, many years. Peugeot used to do a pickup truck, right?
Yes, I know them.
And my dad used to work for
504?
504, yeah? 504. You don't see them anywhere. I've been looking for them.
One.
Honestly,
not far from here.
I saw one in France, and you know that nostalgia where you're like, that was brilliant.
They sought after in Africa. Reason being, there's hardly any electricals on them. Okay, so they're carburetor engines.
Yeah.
And everything on them is as an agricultural basic as you can get. So you can fix them anywhere.
They
go on and on forever.
They are bulletproof. Like, they used to tow Bobcats, roller, all sorts of it. They're bulletproof. But I just dropped them in because I would love those if I had the money. But Singapore should be the first. I saw one at Megaphonics last week. The way. They're like a piece of art, aren't they? They're
jewelry.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I've been a fan of them for a long time. And I've got actually in the showroom here, we've got a Top Gear. When Singer first came out, they did a 6-page special pull out on the magazine. Okay. It was like twice the size of the normal magazine.
Right.
On really thick, nice paper.
Yeah.
And I had it made into a piece of artwork. So I bought 2 copies and because it was double-sided and put them all out. And ever since can I tell you my Singer story?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. When I was, early 20s, I had a 944 S2. That was my first Porsche.
I remember. Yeah.
Stripped it all out, Club Sport spec, and used to do a lot of track days in it. Anyway, and then Singer came out, and I fell in love with the idea of one of those. Yeah. Resto mod. They were like the first people to really push a resto mod.
Yeah.
I wrote to them and I said, Rob.
Yeah, Rob Dickinson. Yeah.
I wrote to him and I said, hi, I'm Oli in Wales. And Tom's going to roast me with that. And I wrote to him and I just wrote and I said, I'm into Porsches now. I'm a young lad and I can't really wait one day to get one of your cars and all the rest of it. Never thought I'd ever hear back. Got a beautiful email back from Rob.
Really?
Saying, so pleased to hear from me. Can't wait for you to buy one off me. And I'll be like the first guy there to shake your hand when you do.
Legend.
And he said, by the way, here is our client-only login portal so you can start designing your own perfect car.
You're joking.
No. And I just thought, well done to him. Yeah. That's the best customer service, like, for the future.
That's that's my Singer
story.
No egos, he's
a non-ego dude. Yeah. And the attention to detail in those cars is insane. They nickel plate the metal.
Yeah.
Inside the dash is woven leather. How they do this, I'd love to sit down and find this out. The buttons for the stereo are like, say, 6-7 mil. They come through the woven leather with the leather weave around it, but it all stays still and there's no metal trim around it to hold it in place. How do they do that?
Honestly, I was looking at it for about 40 minutes last week. We managed to get to Megaphonics early, so there wasn't that many people around it, and it is just a special car. Yeah. What do you think of Tuthill Porsche?
Tuthill? Do you know, I don't know a huge amount about them, but I bought a bonnet on eBay not long ago for a 911 to go on the wall here, and it came from their packaging. And
have you seen that one that revs to 11k?
I have. All I know about them is the rallying side of things that they do, and obviously as a Chris Harris fan, I'm watching the Chris Harris stuff. They seem to be churning out some incredible 911s. I'd actually love to go there and visit. That'd be a nice drive event.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to sort that out.
Can we do that?
I think he...
Well, Hector, who's chatting on the show soon, I'll ask him.
Yeah.
He's an up-and-coming influencer, wheeler dealer, Spanish, English dude. And he's just filmed there and reviewed some of their cars.
It'd be great because the response I got suggested that they get bombarded with, can we come and have a look? But it's a special place, and he is a great guy, isn't he? If you looked at him, you would think...
I watched some of his videos, very unassuming.
You'd think geography teacher.
He can drive out the wind.
Oh,
have you seen him?
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Yeah, really nice guy.
Yeah, proper driver.
Talking about no egos, he comes across... You'd never meet your heroes, but he comes across as if he would be good. So,
yeah.
Anyway, Singer Porsche. I'd like a Tuthill Porsche, but Singer Porsche. I'm a Porsche guy as well, so I'm trying to deviate from that. The next choice was between 2, right?
Oh, 1 down, 2 to go.
Yeah, and I was going to go with the LaFerrari.
Really?
But I'm not.
I was going to say, I don't put you down as that guy.
I like, unbelievable. I was going, love them.
I'd have an F40 over that.
F40. Yes. That was, so it was between the LaFerrari and the F40.
Okay,
so
talk me through the colour.
I would go traditional red.
No, you wouldn't.
I would, yeah. I would go, I know you don't like red cars, but I would go red, right?
Not a red Ferrari. I'm not a red Ferrari guy.
I've never seen
Verde Silverstone for me.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like a dark green. It's lush.
I've never seen that. I've seen a black one.
Verde Silverstone, yeah. We can just paint it whatever colour you want. It's your dream garage.
Yeah, true. So F40, I've never seen an F40, right? I've seen one drive past for like 20 seconds. So if anyone is listening, have got an F40, I would mow your lawn for like a year just
There's
to
a
have
guy
a
in
look
the
at it.
Mumbles in Swansea who's got one.
And it must have been his that I saw. And this next one, I would go with these guys, Rico Customs. He's a guy in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
He does resto mods. You've got Ren Sport, you've got Singer.
Yeah.
I've been watching Rick from Rico Customs. I met him for the first time last week.
Yeah.
I've been watching him for maybe 4 or 5 years.
I've not heard of him.
Oh, his builds they're raw.
Yeah.
But they're amazing.
What are they? What brand?
Porsche.
Yeah.
I think it's 964, air-cooled 964, but they're amazing, right? And his Instagram page is cool. His garage is similar kind of setup to this. His garage is really cool. I met him last week, and when I first followed him, he was kind of, it looked like he was doing it on the side and was restoring one for himself. And I asked him on Sunday how many builds he's got in flow now, and he's got 28 builds in flow.
Wow.
But they're awesome. If you then said, narrow it down to what car would you have now, I will have a Rico Custom one day.
Okay. Good. I like that.
I will have one. So yeah, that's my 3 cars.
Thank
Singer, F40, Rico Custom.
Okay. Noted. We're going to keep a note of these cars as well. We're going to put them on the posts.
All family cars as well.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Perfect.
What's happening with car culture right now? Are we losing it a little bit? For me, it feels like it's never been stronger. Are all cars going to be electric? Are kids going to be still modifying them? People going to be interested in them? How are we going to race them? Etc. etc. What's your thoughts?
I think you've got 2 types of people, right? You've got someone that looks at a car and just sees it as something to go from A to B. Then you've got people like us. This is going to sound corny now, where it's emotional, isn't it? I get in, I hear the engine, and it's emotion. I just love it. I can't get I'm more addicted to it now than I was when I was a kid. And it started when I was a kid. And I think you're probably born with it. It was me. My brother was not so much. We're brothers 4 years apart. I don't think he was really into it.
No, I get it.
And
the look, the feel, the taste, the touch.
And I think you've probably got 2 types of people, but now you've got 3 types of people with the electric cars now, because those that want to take on the electric cars do it for a different reason. There's not an emotion, but there may be an emotional attachment, but it's more to the tech.
Mm-hmm.
It's more to how quiet it is. They're convenient for shorter ranges, etc., etc. But I would challenge them that they don't have the same emotional experience driving their Tesla as they do driving an air-cooled. Like when I was driving that 1972 bay window V-dub,
yeah,
you would come into a roundabout and you would have to plan your entry into that roundabout about 300 yards back.
Because there were no brakes.
Yeah, no brakes. Steer the paint to get into gear.
Yeah.
And it was just an experience.
Wow.
And
yeah.
This is why I want an air-cooled Porsche. I think the experience would be good. This is why I keep going back to manuals. I've never driven one.
Haven't you? Okay.
Mate, my experience with cars is quite sheltered. I've only ever been in a Ferrari once, and that was like when I came here.
Okay.
I've never driven an air-cooled Porsche. These are all things I want to tick off.
Right? It is an occasion.
It is.
And it is. And when you drive a properly set up one,
yeah,
which is like with that air-cooled engine screaming behind you and that kind of weight balance and all the rest of it, with the engine behind you and so on and so forth, I love them.
Yeah.
And there's for me, they're up there.
And I think the culture, you get some cool kids, right? And the cool kids like the retro stuff. Maybe influenced by parents, but probably influenced by socials. That will keep that alive. And as I say, I've been running Driveco now for 4 years, 3.5 years. The clubs that have bounced up everywhere. Is it's snowballing, which is great. I love it.
Social media has done a lot of good, I think, for the car scenes around the world, for everything. Businesses have started out a bit.
Yeah. I think
baffle all these kind of different businesses now, because we're able to pump the stuff out on social media and get people to look at it. People are able to set up their own business and do well and get there with cars and from Drive, from all the rest of it. All this is on it because we're all linked together and we're able to share it and see it all together. And
the right people as well. And And I came back to loads of car clubs coming up. I don't see that as competition from a Driveco perspective. Far from it. it's the people that I love it.
It's not about the money anyway, is it?
And that's where this culture that I think is building. And you go to Cafe in the Machine and what Phil and Dan have done there.
Amazing.
There's no way that culture is dying because that place is rammed all the time. Baffle, rammed all the time. Here, you're busy.
Maybe it's up to us then.
Yeah.
Maybe it's up to us lot to make it for the kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
To keep it all going.
And you've either got it or you haven't. Like my daughter, I don't think is going to be a petrol head.
No.
I don't think so. And I don't want to force it on her.
Oh, mine's in it. She loves it.
She loves coming in the GT4 and loves the noise and the experience, but I don't think, hopefully I get proven wrong.
Yeah.
But
good. Toby, thank you so much. All right. That chat went all over the place. I found out a lot about you that I didn't actually know and some good stories. So thank you. And if anyone wants to follow Toby and if anyone wants to look at the drive events that he's doing, we're going to put all the contact details at the end of this. And everyone, thank you for watching another episode of the Lowe Down. I'm Oli, and I'll see you again on the next one. Cheers.